What's up, Spikelings? The stream's only source of entertainment, Esther here, welcoming you back to the Shark Typhoon. Today, we're changing things up with actual jokes and some real joy in the stream. So sit back, relax, and get ready to have fun for a change.
But it's kind of hard to say without knowing exactly what the BNR announcement would be. It's hard to say in general. But it'll be new, it'll be fresh, and hopefully it'll be exciting. Have I seen this list? Well, I see it's a pie list, so I'm sure this is the Crackling Drake deck. I've seen it. You know, to some extent, it's like Wizards is a pretty good deck, and there's a lot of ways to build it. I oftentimes don't understand a lot of Pie's card choices. Not that I'm saying I disagree with them. I think Pie is a really good blue-red deck builder, but like what the science is behind one main deck Kozilek's Return is kind of confusing to me, especially when like. Would Pyroclasm be better? Maybe. Only playing 3 Snapcaster is weird. Like the 4th Snapcaster seems so much better than like the first iteration. I was really liking playing 4 Trainer, 4 Flares, but it's just kind of a playstyle thing. And I will say that I really don't like the Arena of Glory Crackling Drake thing. It's like awkward with Counterspell. It's like a little Windmore. Crackling Drake's not that good of a card, but it could be fine, and it could definitely be fine. So I should say I just don't have the strongest. I don't have the strongest opinion on the archetype. I agree that it's very cool, and Pi was 19-1 overall with the shell, which is obviously that kind of speaks for itself. But all the blue-red players always have, you know, very opinionated thoughts on the choices. I do kind of like 2-tune 4 Discharge. I think that's pretty cool. Akidion? Hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate you. So an Orcish Bowmaster would be pretty bad for us here. I'm going to play around Spell Pierce at least. We get Bowmastered. Maybe that was a good reason to play the Inquiry last turn. Yep. Probably should have Inquiry'd last turn. Okay, down a game against Dimir Frog. I think this is a matchup where you just kind of run it back. Could drop the Wizards for Subtlety Workout. Yeah, just play Jeskai Control. I have been pretty low on Subtlety overall. I'm kind of just cutting it from a lot of lists. It's okay, of course. Weird idea. Do you ever want the White Flare and the sideboard of Bant Prayers? It's like a turn slow in other combo decks. It's a way to buy a turn. Or it's a way to buy a turn against like sweepers specifically, but you also have Ranger Captain that does that. And I mean, you don't really want to sack your Guide or your Pride for Flare. It doesn't beat Ruby Storm because they can Geomancer's Gambit to stop the damage prevented. It doesn't stop Nadu because they Thassa's Oracle you. Alright, keep this. The 2 most recent Modern Challenges have 0 Nadu in both top 8s. Is there any way it avoids banning? I don't work at Wizards, you know. I'm not consulting on the ban. I would be shocked if they didn't ban Nadu, and we might become Cube streamers for a season or something. I don't know. I just want to get both of these down, and then Inquiry. Harshmancer against Frog is good? Not really. They can just like respond to you casting Harshman. They can just like make it a 2/3 and then just attack you and like deals 2 damage against it. Like it has some text against it, but we're also like a very synergy-based deck. We need to maintain these synergies. Nadu plus Flage to open the format. Banning Flage, I think, is really silly. I actually, like... There's a lot of people talking about Flage like it's one of the best cards in the format, like it's super duper powerful, like it's this crazy card that's super tough to beat. This is just not my experience playing Modern, like, full-time. Flage is fine. It is, like... people like, tend to overvalue also, like, late-game value cards, typically. Flage is, like, fine. I am just not... I don't think it's, like, a top 10 Modern card. It's probably a top 20 Modern card. But I'm just kind of still a little confused about the way people talk about Flage. Okay, so if I detect his Phoenix, I have to shrink this Goyf to a 3/4, which they could discard their whole hand and block it, I guess. Probably be fine. Is Flage better than Uro in current modern? I think Uro would be the better card, and then I think that Flage would maybe be in a better deck because Boros just is really nuts. But I don't know. It's just like your late game in Boros, and it's like your late game in Jeskai, and it's like weak to graveyard hate, and it's kind of slow, and it's kind of easy to play around. I don't know. It's like it's a good card. It is a good card. The amount of people unironically calling for bans for the card is just wild to me. It's just wild. I don't really get it. That's what I'm trying to say. What are my top 10 modern cards then, excluding non-utility lands? Yeah, I mean it's tough. Like I would probably put Guide, Pride, Amtraptor, Ajani, those 4 Boros cards over Flage. I think Flage is very close, but I would put those 4 over Flage by like a little bit. It's like kind of a marginal, like, you know, kind of semantic-y conversation to some extent. But I would put those over there. So I guess maybe cycling that was bad because now we can't even attack. They can just discard their hand and kill me. I would put Frog over Flage too. I would put Ring, Ugin's Labyrinth, Eldrazi Temple, Kozilek's Command over Flage, probably. Maybe not. Flame of Anor is really up there. Wrath of Skies is really up there. The One Ring is really up there. Orcish Bowmasters is really up there at the moment. Nadu is number 1. Nadu is number 1. Karn is up there. Necro is up there. I just gotta put all these cards above Flage, I guess. So my plan is to escape the Nethergoyf and play an Inti and then go from there. Anyway, Flage is very good, but I just really don't understand how like people talking about it like it is just like one of the best cards, like bannable. It's just like so easy to beat if you want to beat it. I don't know. It could be off. Yeah, the fetch lands, of course, but be interesting going back to your tier list, like a 10-minute video where see your right one change. Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of wanting to do that, but it's tough. Like when we're in this kind of modern season where things are kind of stagnant, like we're like in the Nadu ban waiting room, we're like just dying for the Nadu ban. It becomes kind of tough to do a lot of extra side content, and maybe I should be reframing my attitude about this, but historically I have a difficult time doing a lot of extra side content because just keeping up with like the normal stream is tough for me, because things are so stagnant. Like keeping things interesting becomes difficult. Okay, so, and this is although this deck I'm probably been the one I've been most excited for a long time. So I can Phoenix attack for 9 and then bolt my opponent. So I think what we should do is bolt first. So if this plays around Spell Pierce a little bit better, and if they have a counter spell, we don't have to attack first and then like get hit by the counter spell. We can escape a Phoenix, let that get countered, then escape another Phoenix to have a blocker for the Frog. Oh, Goryo's Vengeance is also like you could probably say that that's one of the top modern cards too. Like the Goryo's deck is just so good. Okay, so I mean, it seems like they have something, but they could also just be posturing like they have something. You know what I mean? Okay, so they did have a counterspell. So if I escape this Detective's Phoenix, can I still kill them? So I can escape. I can get rid of a Phoenix. Doesn't seem like I can. So if I get rid of Phoenix, Goblin Lore, Burning Inquiry, then the Goyf shrinks down by 2, so it's still 5 power. What happens? So I can get rid of Nethergoyf, Goblin Lore, Burning Inquiry, Bolt. Nethergoyf. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's not even enough. Yeah, I don't think counter from Inti. No, I don't get the counter from Inti because I have no card in hand to discard. I can't discard this. You only get the counter if you discard a card. So I believe I'm just going to be attacking for 5 and then playing the Detective's Phoenix defensively on Inti. Because I don't believe there's a way to get +1 power with the Phoenix effectively. But me bolting first, played around this counterspell pretty well, which I'm happy about at least. Okay. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to get rid of the Phoenix no matter what. So I guess it's kind of easy. Easy call. Isn't Phoenix Lore Inquiry just -1 power? No, because you get rid of enchantment and you get rid of sorcery if you get rid of Phoenix Lore Inquiry. Which is what we did here. We shrunk the Goyf by 2 power. That would have pumped it by 2 power, not lethal. Why not land Bolt Lore Nethergoyf? Okay, so Detective's Phoenix has to collect evidence 6. You have to exile a total mana value of 6. It's not. I think you're maybe confusing with Nethergoyf. That can be escaped by discarding multiple types. It's not the same. Okay, got there. Cool game. Game 3. How's the opponent only seen 2 lands? Well, we've forced them to discard their whole hand to Frog twice. They have had more lands. Yeah, Phoenix being an enchantment is really nice in the deck. It is a normal human bartender shirt. I'm going to mulligan this on the draw against the Bowmaster deck, I think. Maybe if both lands were untapped, we would keep this one. So I probably want to lead on a Nethergoyf so that I can... Okay, well, I was thinking this before I drew the Blood Crypt. I guess now I'll do this. But if they just hold up Bowmaster mana, I'll go Goyf. Where I get the shirt? It was a gift. Shout out my friend Veronica. Okay, so I think the plan is attack with this Flameblade Adept. Shock and Blood Crypt. Play a Goyf. And then I have the ability to respond to a Bowmaster by cycling Street Wraith. And at the moment, it looks like they would fire off a Bowmaster to try to kill a Goyf here, right? Instead, they push the Flameblade Adept, which grows the Goyfs. So we can probably guess they don't have a Bowmaster unless they are just playing around it. At the very least, they don't have one up here. So if a Goblin Lore gets countered, it's not ideal. I guess I could go ahead and cycle this first. It's kind of painful, but it may lead to us sequencing things differently here. They do have the snare. I'm gonna sit in with both. If my opponent blocks and discards 3, I have the chance to surveil another type in the yard to make these 4 power and have these bounce off each other and then have them be hellbent. Okay. They decide no blocks, so let's still hope to hit that extra type for 8 damage instead of 6. Okay, that is extra type, 8 damage instead of 6. Is Response Resurgence too cute? I don't know what that card does. Good exclamation point card if you want. Okay, Dead Goyf, 4 cards in their hand, 3 cards in their hand. We'll play around a Pierce. So red white, 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature, or 5 mana for extra turn effect. Yes, I don't know. Seems like a card I wouldn't be that interested in playing. The ship of Baraglyph in Modern. I mean, I don't think Baraglyph would be playable. Like 3 mana creature, you have to like attack and hit your opponent with. But it would have been. I think it would have been a good printing. Maybe it would have been Fringe playable. Pack with the 1 year happy anniversary. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. 3 cards in their hand. So some legacy players jamming Caleb's stream. I mean, it was off of Ancient 2. Maybe it's more interesting. I don't know if that was what they were doing. It would be like a good sideboard card against like aggro decks. You know, it gains a lot of life. At the very least, I do think it would be like a fine addition to Modern. Pyrogoyf would also be pretty cool. Maybe it would be a little too pushed, but it's 4 mana. It's like a 4 mana card that's weak against graveyard hate. It's probably be okay. Not even with Ancient Root, they're just casting it. Seems like a tough sell, honestly, for me, for like what I've been hearing about the legacy format lately. But interesting feedback for sure. Jane Revick, awesome name. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. I don't know if that's a reference to something. 2 cards at the bottom. Pyrogoyf would be so busted. I don't know. It's 4 mana, you know what I mean? It's also a 4 mana card that's like, oh no, my opponent casts the ring. I gotta wait on my 4-drop. Okay, so they're playing Sink into the Stupor, so that's not something that's boding very well for me, I guess. Let's start off with this Inquiry. Thank you, Jane. Always love to see the Twitch Prime, then the first time chatting. I think the problem with Pyrogoyf is the other Glurgoyf part. I mean, I think that's a fine argument. A 4 mana card that's like really crazy when you untap and resolve other like really relevant spells. I think it would be fine. But would it be a positive addition to the format? I don't know. Well, I guess we could only dodge Bowmaster for so long. If we can find a Detective's Phoenix, though, they just don't have the 3rd Fatal Push we can win. So it might have been fine to like cycle the Street Wraith to like dig 1 deeper, but my life total ain't going to be the highest. Oh, we found the Detective's Phoenix. Okay, so now we just have to dodge 4th Fatal Push, right? I'm eager to see if you whip up a post MH3 Brew of Dice Factory. I know it's not great. 7-month subscriber, first time chatter. Awesome. Love it. Love that. I mean, I don't know. It's cool to see. I know it's not great with Breath of Skies and Forces are more in use. Yeah, so I've been so for a while I was trying to build sorry, I can't walk and talk. Let me just see if this one's the game. For a while, I was trying to build a Amulet of Vigor shell with Worn Power Stone, and I was really trying to cram Ugin's Labyrinth into the deck, and I've just kind of recently... What's this? Dang, I guess I'm supposed to steal Goyf. Yeah, it's kind of tough to pass up on the Bowmaster. Let's mulligan this 4-lander. Keep this one. My opponent didn't reveal Gigantha, so I don't think I'm going to keep the Bolt. It's probably a good tiebreaker. If you're on the draw, you need to like make sure your Goyf has 2 toughness. I'm not going to be too scared of like random Lava Dart against the non-Gigantha deck. And I want to be able to get a basic mountain. So probably up against Necro. Which I imagine is a fine matchup. Since they have a hard time with like the recursion. And then I'm going to discard this Phoenix, which is basically +3 damage this turn. The best Necrogoyf I've ever seen. Yeah, it's like... I was looking on MTG Goldfish, and like just nobody was playing Nethergoyf in the deck. I'm like, okay, we gotta put some work on the archetype. The card is just like so ideal. The Image 3 Proliferate Whale. I built 2 decks with the Proliferate Whale, and I have double push is tough here. I haven't really done well with either. I think I lore. Okay, I would prefer to have been able to detect this Phoenix that, but we will take it. So yeah, I built a couple whale decks, and I haven't played a single game with them, and they don't look they look like I built them like kind of pre-Wrath the Skies taking over the format, and I regret not having played them before it was just Wrath the Skies the format. All right, let's see if they can brick on Soul Spike. It's probably game over here. If they hit Soul Spike, it's probably game over also. We'll see. I have considered DRC. Someone suggested playing DRC over Inti. I don't really love the idea of doing that. DRC would be fine. You'd have to play Bauble too, I think, or you should probably play Bauble in your DRC Nethergoyf deck, and I don't really know how you would do that. Nice Necro Dominance. Is it only just Gangoros or Wrath the Skies? Yeah, but those two decks are very popular. Okay, so this is a just run it back deck also, and I think you're pretty good. You're a Bowmaster deck with like lots of creature recursion. What are they splashing green for? I think it's like usually pick your poison and sometimes pillage the bog and Necro as the green splash. I don't know if there's anything else. Maybe some Necro mains can let us know if there's something else. Yeah, this deck's been really good so far. I'm like 9-2 with it so far. Never seen such little sideboarding. I mean, when you're playing really synergy-focused decks like this, you just have like a few really high-impact sideboard cards. In these matchups, you just run it back. You're pretty comfy. How many days till BNR? 12. Probably gonna send this one back. Just another 4-lander is kind of tough. This hand just doesn't really have a plan. Try this. Bowmasters is really good against them, but we need to find a second land. Never seen Pick Your Poison Necro. I've seen it. I've been Pick Your Poisoned out of Necro a couple times with the green splash. Yeah, I've seen Culling Ritual too. Did forget about that one. Could definitely be that. It's Culling Ritual and Abrupt Decay. Decay is interesting. Maybe it's just like respect for the mirror. I think I should play the Flameblade Adept. Be kind of optimistic that I'll draw this land. Not the biggest decision point. What about Sideboard Raucous Charmaw? I think that card is not very good. This is not a deck that can very comfortably hold up 2-mana reactive cards, especially ones that are pretty mediocre. It doesn't beat Nadu that often unless like your opponent just completely doesn't have it on their radar, which might happen and might not happen. I don't know. Trespasser is pretty good. But of all the Graveyard Hate we could play against, we probably want to play against this. If we draw a land right now, which we do, we're in pretty good shape. Especially if we keep this hollow one in our hand. Okay. Not quite that lucky. But we have another Burning Inquiry, and we get to attack for 8. Decay is good against sideboard hit cards like Vexing Bubble. Okay, that's fair. Very fair. That card's still legal? So they're up to 11. I'm down to 10. I know Modern has a bird problem. Legacy is one that's been unwatchable for a while. Yeah, I mean, I don't play a lot of Legacy right now. My friends who play Legacy, some people say they're having fun, but that it's bad. And I certainly hope to see. Okay, Shielder is pretty good against Burning Inquiry. I certainly hope to see a little bit of a Legacy revival. The Inquisition by Inquiry, it triggers Inti, although it seems like they're probably just going to push, which is not the most beatable. 12 days until Energy takes Nadu's place. I see this sentiment echoed a lot. Energy will become the new deck to beat once Nadu's banned, and I just don't really foresee that being the case. Okay, if I block like this, I can cast Inquiry, which I think gives me the highest chance to win. It's like Nadu being gone doesn't change the fact that energy is bad against Jeskai, it's bad against Goryo's, or like, you know, it can be weak to Jeskai, it can be weak to Goryo's, it's kind of weak to combo in general. There are builds of Eldrazi that it's good against. I don't know, and I could just be wrong about that, and energy may end up being the best deck, but this is at least my impression. Yeah, it is. Okay. There, I'll concede to a March. I think it's kind of the same attitude of like people saying Flage is like a card that could be banned. I like this is just not my experience. That I bet energy is definitely annoying for a lot of decks. I'm like I don't know. Like I'm playing this deck 2-up 2-1 against energy. It's like it's just you can beat it. I said about energy's matchups was correct. I mean, yeah, that's my impression at least. I want to make sure that I at least convey that. So I don't know. We'll see. Can we play a Shielded Burning deck? We have like one time a long time ago. Get to keep a 7-card hand for the first time this match, by the way. My opponent's the one mulliganing to 6 now. Yeah, if energy was the best deck, it would probably be very similar to how like when Murktide was the best deck, the deck to beat. The metagame was awesome because the deck was just super beatable if you wanted to beat it. Okay, so I imagine we lose this Burning Inquiry. Trigger the Flameblade Adept. I don't think Flage and Uro compare. I think that Uro can gain 3 life and put a land into play. I think Flage can deal 3 damage and not put a land into play or draw a card. It's kind of doesn't matter. Like, I hope Uro never returns to Modern, and I hope that you basically never have to compare the cards. Is Flameblade Adept better than DRC? I think it is, yeah. It's been really good today. Is this a Hollow deck? Yeah, you can look at the title too. Yes, it's a Hollow deck. We are 9-2 overall with the list as well. Although losing this Inquiry makes things tougher. Cool Kid, 38 months. Appreciate you. We'll swing by and say googly moogly to you too. You don't see much Flage in formats where Uro is legal. Yeah. All right, take a Bolt, opponent. Yeah, a lot of people, like 4Dogs, keep going, we must ban Grief too, but Grief is not seeing a lot of play in Modern right now, y'all. It's like Grief sees play in Living End and Goryo's, and it is good in those decks, but banning Grief at the moment would be just like if they weren't going to ban Grief back when Scam was legal, and it was everywhere, and people hated it back then. I don't know why they would ban it now when it sees like just it's regulated to Living End and Goryo's for the most part. Necro? Oh, yeah, sure, Necro. But it's like not even. It's pretty awkward in Necro in general. With like when Necro's out, it's like you don't get to scam it. But sure, it does see play Necro too. It doesn't matter play rate. It's a miserable card. I understand this argument. That's fine. It's been a miserable card for a long time, and Grief, at the very least, is like much less impactful on the format than it's been for the last 2.5 years. So why would now be the time to ban it? I just don't understand the arguments. Am I growing my hair out for a mullet? I don't know what the overall vision with the hair is. I'm getting a lot of good feedback on the ponytail. For me, I think the ponytail is a placeholder till I figure it out. Okay, I don't know how they tank so long on this. I guess they're just doing something else. But I don't know. I just don't really get the argument. It's at the very least the argument for banning it is super biased. Okay, now I really hope my opponent plays a Necro. Show my shirt to the camp. This is a normal human bartender shirt. Jack A. Daytonia, my favorite normal human bartender from Tucson, Arizona. No man bun. I don't know. I mean, I've tried the bun. Maybe my hair's a little short for it at the moment, so like we'll circle back to it when it gets longer. Okay. No Necro. I'm gonna cast the Bowmaster. Inquiry? Inquiry would have been crazy here. So I'd probably cycle the hollow one. Okay, now... Oh, so, are they still supposed to cycle the hollow one? I think I'm supposed to bolt the Bowmaster. But maybe it was better to cycle this turn, hit them down to 11 with 2 bolts in hand. Sure. I obviously had to do it before the Bowmaster hit the table. Okay, now this is pretty tense with me having double bolt in their hand. Or sorry, in my hand. But they also know about it because of the Inquisitions. So they just go to 11. So, okay, so if I double bolt my opponent down to 5... Yeah, I think we just go face. Can't be that wrong. We can cycle, put them to 1. This is the punish, is drawing Burning Inquiry. It is what it is. Brutal punish. Street Wraith would be interesting. Okay, that was Street Wraith. Alright, they have 5 cards. Dead is Shieldred. March would be bad. I don't think they have Soul Spike. They obviously skip their draw step. They play a tapped Boggart Bog, so 4 drops are now off the table. Unlikely they have March too. There's a good chance they would have pitched that to March. Push, 3 cards in their hand. So let's hope they don't have a second Fatal Push. I'm going to go Inti with the intention of discarding this Inquiry. This is a lethal attack. Athena's been here a lot lately. Maybe I need to get the Athena Camor set up. Nice. A lot of very close matches, but we do seem to keep ending up on the right side. I'm shocked you beat Necro. Feels like such a nightmare. I really disagree. We have so many creatures that get like recurred from the graveyard, and we're like really aggressive, and we're a Bowmaster deck. All of these elements are pretty good against Necro. Once on to 6, I'm going to be going to 5 with my 6 lander into my no lander. Does anyone ask about Waste Not already? No, but Waste Not is really... It only works with Inquiry in the deck, so it's just kind of like a non-starter without more synergies, I think. How's Lucy doing? Lucy's doing good. She's just still the sweetest dog and who's ever lived. Okay, well, 4 cards is not the most cards. I think we'll probably... I guess I should probably just keep both Mires. Back in the original days of the stream, Lucy would always... Or, sorry, Athena would always be in the background on the couch. Okay, Moldafor against Jeskai. Probably not the best matchup to Moldafor in. Maybe they'll tune the narrative here. Maybe they'll Teferi Time Raveler here. It's gonna be a tough game to win on the Moldafor. I think I beat this matchup last night. I can't really. I know I beat Blue Red Wizards as a control deck. I can't remember if I played against Jeskai, but I think I did. But I probably kept more than 4 cards game 1. Could we play less all in with Shieldred and DRC? Shieldred is like kind of a non-starter in this deck, I think, being 4 mana. Also, you want to be all in this deck. You want this build is much better as a deck that is really focused and is really trying to do its thing fast and aggressive. Like if you want to play a less all in, like more mid-range deck, play a mid-range deck, you know. but this is yeah, you can play mid-range deck. Okay, let's play an Inti here. I'm going to discard the Ox of Agonas. I would love to hit a land. Oh, they have a subtlety. They also missed their land drop last turn. So I wonder what their hand is that they are not subtletying this. Hard to say. Maybe they also have Solitude. I'm just filling time while my opponent tanks. Acolyte 50 months? 50 is a long time. Thanks for the content. It is. As, you know, longer than longer than I was in college for. Oh, wow. Maybe not quite. 5 years, no degree. Went part-time most of the time. Is Croaks not good? Yeah, Croaks is worse than Ox of Agonas, in my opinion. So they pitched a Teferi Time Raveler there. I'm going to play another Inti. Maybe it was better to go double 1-drop. But like the upside of like hitting my land here is kind of high, and they might not have had the counterspell. We're pretty cold to this Flage, you know. Remold to 4. I think we're getting ringed here. Kroxa collects for 2. Well, Ox collects. Oh, collect evidence, yeah. And that's just, it's 2 mana to escape. It's just, yeah, Kroxa is worse than Ox. I don't know. I don't think escaping Ox is the play. I think it's probably play 2 creatures this turn and probably not losing. Did Invert Polarity not have the Chopster Modern? No, Invert Polarity is playable, but it's like definitely better in metagames where mana curves are a bit higher, I think, than they are right now. It's very good against the ring decks in general. Can't wait to get out there. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough matchup to mold a 4 in. So there's a Flage, or so there's an Arena of Glory for Flage, but they need 1 more card in the yard to escape. That being said, they have tapped the Arena of Glory. Then they're untapping. They could like evoke a card first, I guess, or bolt or discharge. Tough matchup in general, it seems. Maybe. Probably. Okay, so I think we gotta double bolt them, right? I guess I could go bolt 1 time and then Ox of Agonas. And then that's more damage, more pressure, but shrinks my Nethergoyf. And they also like just are gonna have they're going to have subtlety here pretty often. Hardcast Solitude could be bad. Okay, so we're after the blocker step. I'm going to bolt now because it grows the Goyf. And then let them take 6 down to 6. There's actually a somewhat reasonable chance my opponent cracks a fetch land to escape the Flage and they die to the bolt. I guess I should bolt now, so they have a harder time counterspell into fetch land. Not dead. No, or not 0% still. So they're going to go up to 7. They can either kill Flameblade and Orc, or they can kill just Nethergoyf. And then they're basically at 4 due to the ring. So they actually kind of need a Solitude. No Wrath 1 time. We would love if my opponent cast Wrath here. We would love if they cast Wrath being at 1 life with the ring in play. Wait, they discharged the Goyf, which means they're kind of dead to the Orc. And then I could also find Ox of Agonas, Lightning Bolt, Orcish Bowmaster. Oh, sorry, they killed the Goyf. I thought they were just doing less damage to it. Okay, so never mind. So we need to find one. Now we need to find one of those. So we'll go Cycle Street Wraith. Cycle Street Wraith. Looking for a Phoenix, looking for a Bolt, looking for a Bowmaster. Okay, get rid of lands, redundant instant, redundant creatures. So now we can go land, Bowmaster, or find Phoenix, or find Bolt. But we got Subtlety. Close. Oh, sorry, Bolt was short. Bolt was short, sorry. My math was actually pretty off there. Okay, so in this matchup, if you surgical their Phlages, it is pretty hard for them to win, in my experience. Or, by my estimates, I should say. Yeah, pretty close despite the Mold of 4 there. We also didn't draw the Detective's Phoenix, which is like our best card in the matchup. It is nice when you're playing decks like this too against Wrath the Sky, or the Wrath the Sky's format, where you have like cards like Phoenix and Ox of Agonas and Hollow One that are pretty resilient to it. Feels like I'm not seeing as much Stone of E-Reach inside as I thought I would. Well, there's not a lot of Grief Scam, and there's not a lot of Yawgmoth at the moment, which is mostly what you want those for, but it is kind of interesting against Flage, I agree. Plus an Extirpate versus Surgical. Surgical is 0 mana, and Extirpate is 1 mana, and you know, Extirpate can't be countered, which is nice. But the ability to just have it be 0 mana on your curve is so premium, I feel. It's really Reagan with the 4 months. Thank you, welcome back. Appreciate you. This is another D&D Secret Lair. So we got Xanathar. Beholder's Charm Ray, but it's Bribery. Okay. Beholder's Sleep Ray. I like this one. This one looks sick. It's a Stifle. That one looks great. Slowing Ray, Delay. Petrification, Ray. Furyk. I like this one. I like this one. And I like this one. The other ones are fine. A lot more colorful than I would have expected, but fun direction. I'm playing a Reanimator deck with green. Is Veil of Summer a good card to bring in against Jeskai? I mean, if you're not bringing it in against Jeskai, you probably shouldn't have it in your deck. I think you're supposed to lead on Inquiry in these spots. Kind of close. Oh, you know what? I think with Bowmasters in our hand, we're supposed to Inquiry post Bowmasters. I'm just going to go ahead and Surveil instead. And then we'll set up for end of turn Bowmasters, untap Inquiry. Did I see the Asterian Secret Lair? I saw a Asterian Secret Lair. I saw it, I kind of thought it was like fan art. I didn't realize that was like real. Shout out to all the Asterian girlies out there. Okay, I don't think we're gonna need a second black source right now. Why Bowmaster instead of Inti? Because Burning Inquiry is very good with Bowmaster. It deals them a lot of damage. I guess I should let them Surveil first, though, to be honest. Because I want to Inquiry next turn for the Hollow Ones, and if my Bowmasters is alive, it's going to be pretty tough for them. Literally name Asterians. They're just so funny. There's actually a pretty good chance they counterspell this, and then we get to resolve this one. What's very funny, I killed Asterion on my playthrough because I failed my check to like stop him from sucking my blood, and then and then Esther, when we were playing our like together playthrough, she like said we found the vampire. Oh, I shouldn't spoil, but Esther also got rid of him. He died in both of our runs. Okay, so now I guess we'll just Inquiry again. No Phoenix in the yard. Still have our second Raucous Theater. Just gonna attack for 8 here. Nice. That worked out pretty well. I'm still learning who's Esther. Esther's my fiance. She pretty often pops into the stream and chats and distracts us and brings up whatever pops into her head. Let's keep this. Phoenix is very good at the matchup. Needs a little bit of work in this hand, though. Yeah, we got engaged after Pro Tour Barcelona last year in Italy, in Venice. It's very romantic. Let's be married by now. Do wedding date? Yeah, we're trying for November 25th of next year, so 10/25/25. And we're still have a good amount of wedding planning to do, but we're working on it. We've been together for 6 years. I think we're legally common law married already. But we're working on it. We're looking at the Dallas Aquarium as the venue, which would be pretty sick if we got it. Not locked in yet, but it seems like a pretty fun place. Is Chad invited to the wedding? Of course. Entry 1,000 gifted subs. Oh, sorry. 10/20/20 10/25/25 is the date. I guess, yeah, you're right. Not October. Bowmaster's always pretty good against Teferi. Hopefully they don't have a subtlety, I guess. Innkeeper's Talent in Infected Modern. Sorry, what does the card do? They consider Stalker at all. Seems like Nethergoyf is better, but Stalker is more interaction. I mean, Stalker's a little bit. I would play Root Wall over Stalker. I play DRC over it. Stalker's fine. So a land would be nice to go second Bowmaster, and an untapped land would be nice. I said. Pretty sure I said that. Okay, let's Inquiry. Now, this is going to be 4 power, so I guess I can... Guess I'll just target all. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to Phoenix this turn. I think I'll probably end up playing second Bowmaster instead. Although maybe I should be second Phoenixing because it's a bit better if my opponent has Ring next turn, but Bowmaster is better if my opponent has Solitude. It kind of seems like they have Solitude with the pause. Ignore Teferi and go all face. I think with the Surgical in my hand, we definitely have the ability to play the longer game and do use Surgical Ring. Not with 2 Bowmasters, I think. Although I guess if they go Ring into Wrath Disguise, it's not the best. Let's see what they do here. Let's see if they Solitude, and then we'll think about it. I played Rizdek a few times. We get pretty solid. Yeah, I agree. Hollow One's pretty solid. We played against it a couple weeks ago. I do think that y'all should all be playing Nethergoyf in the deck. That's my contribution, I think. Bulldozer 5 months. Welcome back. Yeah, face is the place. All right. Opponent is down. Or Teferi is down. I guess Teferi is oftentimes our opponent. Let's Surgical the Ring, I think. I think they're just so behind. Okay, well, no Ring or Flays in hand. So they have a Surgical Extraction of their own. They have 1 more Subtlety in the deck, 2 Celestial Purges, 4 Discharge, 4 Wrath Disguise, 1 more Verdict in the deck, 1 in hand, 0 more Solitudes in the deck. Good to know. Could something like Necrodominance and Shadow work? Could, yeah. It would be nice if you had like a way to fling your shadows, maybe. But I don't know. It's tough because you want to play a lot of life gain with Necro, and there's just like some tension with wanting to play a lot of life gain in your shadow deck. So playing my Phoenixes this turn would be, I think, pretty ideal. They didn't Solitude in response. And I get to go Hollow One Phoenix on them. Dang. This seems like a nightmare matchup, says chat. I don't know. We just keep winning. Just keep winning. Was crushing yesterday. Crushing today. Been awesome so far. Definitely running well. Also, a lot of matches have been close. Okay, and then they surgical my I drew them into surgical. Surgical on Phoenix here is definitely really, really potent. But they're at 12, and then we... Like, my Hollow one doesn't die to the Wrath Disguise that's in their hand. They did discard the Solitude and the Teferi. They're at 9. I'm attacking for 5? Might as well lore. Alright, do I have another... I don't have another Raucous Theater, but I think with Ox of Agonas in the yard, I'll go ahead and play my land out. They're at 9 and taking 5, yeah. So it's looking pretty good. They also have no rings in their deck. We surgical their rings. They also have no Solitudes because we Burning Inquiry away that Solitude, and they just concede. Let's go. Okay, so 4-1 my league off stream last night. 4-1 our first league of the day. We are 3-0 in this league. Let's get a trophy prediction going. Okay, but would keep if I had one more land. And then we lost... Grab back the Bowmaster. What was our other loss to today? We lost two. We lost one other match today. Oh, we lost to Karuga, which seemed like a bad matchup. Like Leyline Scion seems tough in general. Ugh. Okay, we did make them discard 2 Ugin's Labs. Sean with the 40 months, appreciate ya. The 3rd Ugin's Lab. Okay, I'm probably not gonna win this one. Rite of Consumption. As deals cost to cast a spell, second creature deals damage equals second power creature. Planeswalker gain life equals damage dealt this way. Don't love that that's a sorcery. That's probably okay. Explain to me how Fear Fire Foes is better than Pyroclasm. Well, in a deck that's playing Inti, Flameblade Adept, Orcish Bowmasters, it can be quite a liability to have Pyroclasm in your deck. I'll scoot. Well, I guess I can still hit them with if they Cold X command. So you don't want to have those symmetrical sweepers. So I was trying out the kind of asymmetrical sweeper there, one that's capable of like 2 mana deal 1 to everything, or 3 mana deal 2 to one thing, 1 to the others. But it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Okay, your wisdom teeth out, and I get GMO to watch the stream. Nice. I wish you a speedy recovery. When I was like 16, I had a quack doctor be like, yep, you gotta get them wisdom teeth out. And then I saw another doctor who's like, another dentist who's like, nope, that guy was lying to you. You don't need your wisdom teeth out. So I hope that didn't happen to you. I hope you really didn't need them out. This is probably like the new, or, you know, the green-red Emrakul build. Draw land, I'll go Inti, discard Phoenix. I did draw the land. Let's go Inti, discard Phoenix. Yeah, that's why I'm so wise. What about Electrickery? The problem is it's like Guide of Souls is like the real problem in the matchup. And so like I don't really want to play cards that can't kill Guide of Souls. So I like the Fear Fire Foes could in theory. But I just really have not minded this is another wait, why are they Kozilek's command not killing Inti? Oh, sorry, I missed that they had 5 mana. I thought they had 4. So but also like we beat Jeskai Energy today on stream. I beat Energy another time last night. Just like I just didn't board in Fear Fire Foes, and it just was correct. It seemed. So against Boros, I'm bringing in a couple Surgicals for Flage. Maybe I need to bring in 3 because Flage is like the best card in the matchup for them, or like that and Guide are the best 2 cards. But we've also just been beating them. So they graveyard an Eldrazi Temple. They made spawns. You would think that they had action here, but they didn't like play anything big last turn. I guess they just have the command. Emrakul costs 9, so they put this in their hand. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So could be getting Emrakul next turn. would be pretty good against us. I could maybe bolt a spawn. Maybe bolt both spawns. 2 spawns. If I can draw a land and Bowmaster a spawn, and bolt a spawn, that would be a bit more ideal. Another Inti, not very helpful. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think my best chance here is going to be to Bowmaster a spawn token and hope they just don't have a land. Okay, my opponent didn't put Emrakul into their hand, which might mean they just have one in their hand already, which means this doesn't do enough. But it also might mean that they're thinking, oh, I can play my land from hand, then I can put Emrakul in, but this stops that. So I guess we have to hope for that. And the next one I can go Bolt plus Phoenix Bestow pre-combat. But it looks like they just have the Emrakul. Could be all of this would be great for us. So I'm not really confident I can beat that, but we'll play it out. Actually, they just get to bolt both my things or block one, kill me. We'll go to game 3. Or game 2, game 2. Alright, so obviously, like, you know, the turn 1 Burning Creed discard the hollow one wasn't very good. Mostly in these matchups, I want to just cut the bolts for Charmaws and call it a day. Kind of nice that Charmaw has like a high mana value for the Phoenix Bestow. Although I guess it is kind of bad to cut bolts and shrink the Nethergoyf. It's probably not that big a deal. Probably fine. I did beat this matchup last night too, actually. About Leyline of Punishment. I mean, honestly, the Boros matchup just didn't feel that bad, but maybe Leyline of Punishment could be good. But I'm like 3-1 against energy variants. Or sorry, 2-1. And it just kind of seems like your game plan is just kind of lines up well against their game plan. Like just having big, high toughness flyers is pretty good against them. But Leyline of Punishment would also be nice, so I don't hate the thought. Maybe a little too high variance. So on the play for game 2 against Green-Red Eldrazi. Double Charmaw, 1-lander, possible Surveil. I'm gonna mulligan. I would keep if this was a Surveil land. Go to 5. Keep on 5. Put back. Maybe just put back both Charmaws. I think we put back both Charmaws because we want to have Ox in the hand as a good thing to discard to this Goblin Lore. Not sure. Might end up regretting that, but it's kind of hard to tell with the Goblin Lore, and you know, Mold of 5s are tough no matter what. But like discarding an Ox to a Goblin Lore is like a good way to like refill after a Mold of 5. So I think I'm going to cycle the Street Wraith. If I was in a matchup where my life total mattered a lot, I probably wouldn't, but I think just digging a bit deeper is correct since we're like the pure aggro deck in this matchup. Well, that was not the best lore for us. Like if we had been able to discard either of these, it would have been so much better. That is what it is. What it is. They reveal an Ugin's Lab to their stirrings. Plays said Ugin's Lab. Also, if we kept the Inquiry in our hand, it would have been really good too. Just maybe like worst possible on the discards. Close to it. Kozak's Command, disaster. Then making a spawn instead of scrying is also very bad for us. Just, you know, not our game. We do get to go, you know, throw a Flameblade Adept at them. We get to Surveil. Certainly some series of draws that get us there. Is Inquiry first net negative on cards? Yeah, Goblin Lore is neutral on cards. Inquiry is -1 card, and so on the multi 5, it's kind of tough to like lead on Inquiry in these spots. I mean, not the most ideal. I mean, actually, it probably is the most ideal. I don't know. I don't know that there's another like spell that we're doing kind of okay against. We'll see. We'll see if they have like a strong follow up. But if they stumble, we might get there. We're looking for Burning Inquiry, looking for Goblin Lore, not looking for Blood Crypt. Okay, and also maybe my opponent does have a good hand, and Inquiry gets them bad. Maybe they have a bad hand, and Inquiry makes it better. They discard Kozilek's Return and 2 lands, so that's probably not the best for us. I do discard the Ox of Agonas. I draw another Goblin Lore. I'm attacking for 6. Getting them all the way down to 7. And then we're also going to be hoping for the best. So technically so Lore puts them to 1 next turn. If we don't find anything else. I guess we're hoping this is another Myco spawn. It's a World Breaker with the ability to flashback the K return. They decide to exile the Detective's Phoenix. Are they going to... They decide to not K return. So maybe they forget Flameblade Adept has Menace and then attack with the Myco spawn. That feels like an out for us. We also... You know, we have this Ox of Agonas. We've got some stuff going on. They're pretty far away from casting the Cymrical. Unfortunately, they keep a card on top, which is kind of unbeatable. Okay, that's step 1. So we have to figure out the win con still. My opponent says big fan. It's got a funny time to say big fan. Yeah, I think we need to Lore. Lore is like, I only get to deal 2 extra damage here. This can like... This could put them in a spot where we... could draw like Land Bolt or like Land Phoenix. Well, Phoenix I guess is a little short. So we got our opponent down to 3. We're going to play second Flameblade Adept. Probably not in very good shape because they kept a card on top, but we've done our best. Oh, sorry. I forgot there are no bolts. Should have kept in bolt over Charmaw. Still, I don't know. There's some situations that we steal this game. So that's probably what they kept on top. They reveal a Kozilek's Return, which they can't get off the Rumble, and Emrakul the Promised End, which I don't think they can cast here. I might be wrong. 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. It costs 7 mana. They can cast it. And they can cast a Soulless Jailer. Okay, so they didn't cast this Emrakul that was castable. And Soulless Jailer kind of sucks because the card doesn't actually do anything. I just still can escape this Ox of Agonas. Because it says permanent cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. But Ox of Agonas enters from the stack, not the graveyard. It is a little bit silly, I think. But boy, am I glad that it works this way right about now. I feel like in paper, this would be a judge call for sure. And they didn't cast the Emrakul, so that's also good news. Okay. So now we get to Inquiry. Maybe we can Inquiry that Emrakul away. Didn't find a Phoenix. Nor do I have another Raucous Theater in my deck. Yeah, but still, if a Phoenix would have been lethal here because they can't double block, so sad to have bricked there. But we're gonna attack, and then we also did not discard the Emrakul, so that's bad news. We drew them 3 lands. It would have been nice if they just had been stuck with any of these. Am I wrong? Am I wrong that the last card is an Emrakul here? But we get to, I guess they're gonna kill both my Flameblade Adepts if they block correctly, and then be down to just a World Breaker. Can't bestow Phoenix from the graveyard. Okay, but we could have drawn it, I guess. Okay, so they do figure out the correct block. Oh no, they. So yeah, they do. I'm sorry, I didn't realize also that I. Okay, so sorry. I guess I signed that, and then I signed this. Oh wait, did they discard the Emrakul? I thought this one was already okay. It looks like I drew them into Kozilek's command. Brutal. And they still have Emrakul tucked away in the lab. Okay, closer than it was looking, but now it's looking pretty dire. Gonna play it out. With no bolts in the deck, I don't think we can get there. I wonder if they, so that if they use the Kozilek's return, they would have just a World Breaker in play. Bestow uses the stack. Yeah, I'm actually not sure that Soulless Jailer stops Bestow. So. It was a bad attack from them. Because my main path to victory is like Ox of Agonas into Flameblade Adept Phoenix. And so they can't double block that anymore. Bestow is an enchantment spell with no creature. Oh right, it becomes a non-creature. Players can't cast non, so you can't. Okay, got it. It does work then. Okay, so they can escape Ox. They can escape Nethergoyf. I guess that's probably the best line. But if they escape Nethergoyf, no, I guess Phoenix still doesn't get there. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. What? This is my position? Where did that Bowmasters come from? How do I have one Orc army in play? Oh, pinged itself? They had lethal? I don't know what I missed. See the VOD? I can look at the game log. They could have Fetch Shock and Bowmaster you, but they failed to find instead. Okay. I mean, so as far as me in this game right now, I think I have to find a Bowmaster off the Inti, right? I go Inti, discard Charmaw onto the Orc army, and if I find a Bowmaster, I win. With no other avenue to victory. Charmaw doesn't like stabilize, nor can I give it haste. No, Emrakul has trample. No, there's no Ox in the graveyard. So Bowmaster or bust. So close, dude. If this had so just one card too deep. Charmaw just blocks Emrakul. Yeah, I mean, and then we take 9 damage to the trample. No, there's not really any avenue off the Ox escape, right? I don't have Lightning Bolt in my deck, so yeah, there's not. Okay, let's concede. So we 4-1 the first 2 leagues. I guess we'll see if we get the imaginary GP top 8. 4 prediction going live. Keep this. We're on the draw against the Giganta. Would much rather be on the play against a Giganta. Much rather be on the play every single time, I guess. But his hand is nice. Giganta Verdant Catacombs is cool. I'm like stumped. I'm not sure. Jund Saga, maybe? Hashtag weak to Bowmasters. Thanks, happy wishes for the happy wishes, the 7 months. We're probably getting Bowmastered, but I think with 2 Hollow Ones in my hand, I just still have to cast this. And lament the fact that I was cursed to be on the draw this game. Okay, so we binned the Detective's Phoenix. We kept both Hollow Ones in our hand. Next turn we get to go 2 4/5 Nethergoyfs plus Bolt to make them 5/6s, or maybe we play Detective's Phoenix. And you think about what this game could have looked like if we were on the play. So how are we feeling about a double block? My opponent can't have a Holy Heat, Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push to stop me from making this trade. So I'm going to do this. It also grows my Goyfs too, which seems pretty good. Trading a 4/4/4/5/5. Usually pretty nice. It's not that often that your opponent goes turn 1 Nethergoyf, turn 2 Bowmaster, trigger Bowmaster 5 times. And you're like way ahead. So probably not going to start with Burning Inquiry here. Okay, so if I escape my Detective's Phoenix, or bestow my Detective's Phoenix, I would get rid of Artifact Enchantment from the yard, so my Goyfs would become much smaller. So I think let's just go attack the Rin 6, and then play 2 Nethergoyfs with Bolt up, with the ability again for Bolt to make the Goyfs 6/7s. Why is Feli stop being played across the board? I mean, Feli is still a playable card. As far as why no one's playing it is that it just doesn't seem to be an optimal card to include in Boros, which is like the main shell that would be playing it. But, you know, it's still a card that I expect will see a reasonable amount of modern play over its tenure in the format. So funny. They went Bowmaster. I triggered it 4 times, and we're just like way ahead. It's awesome. How's the Seismic Missile deck? It was pretty good, I think. I liked it. I mean, they've barely done anything. I mean, my opponent went Goyf into Bowmaster to Rin 6, and like they've used all but 1 of their mana. I don't know. If that's barely anything, then I guess. What did I cut from the Goyfs? I don't know. I went over a few different like builds, and nothing was playing the Goyfs. All the lists, I think, were playing 1 too many lands. Like most lists were playing 19 lands. I mean, I guess we could just go look at Goldfish. They have a second Bowmasters. This is pretty bad. Dark Confidant is very funny to see here, of course. So that's just it's kind of fine. I mean, it can kill my Hollow One. But I wanted to do this so I could try to bestow the Detective's Phoenix. Okay, find decks using Hollow One. I don't know why nothing popped up there. Dex Modern, Deck Search. Hollow. Oh, that's what I did last time. Oh, yeah, no Ragavan. They're playing Ragavan over Nethergoyf in this list. So only 3 Goblin Lores. I'm not sure. So what I did, Chrome has been free. Like it's only like when I stream, but Chrome just like freezes so much. A hollow one that I can bestow onto. So yeah, I think we're bestowing this. We do shrink, so these become 5/6s, which is fine. Get rid of Street Wraith, and then we have 2 sorceries. Get rid of a sorcery. Did I spend mana for that? Yeah, I might switch to like Firefox Edge for the streaming needs. Can Hollow One's casting go below 1? Like you can cast it for free? Yeah, we just cast it for 0 mana. But if it's that was the that's kind of the whole idea. You cast a Burning Inquiry, then Hollow Ones are 0 mana. Alright, see what they hit off Amptraptor, hopefully a Thoughtseize or Written 6. They had a Tarmogoyf, so not quite a Thoughtseize or Written 6, but they also just decided to like put themselves dead to the flyer here. So we'll see if they have a removal spell for it. That needs to be like Unholy Heat. Oh, they just have a natty Shadow Spear, and then they're gonna go to 1. It's kind of brutal. So they're dead to Phoenix, they're dead to Bolt, they're dead to Bowmaster, not dead to Inti, I guess. A lot of outs. Inti's not an out because I have no cards in my hand. Issues. Fun game. Beagler, 60 months. How do you think this deck would do as mono red for budget with maybe Root Wallas? It would be fine. I think it would be like a good budget modern deck. It'd be nice that you could kind of build towards like the fetches and the Bowmasters and the Nethergoyfs. It'll be like a good amount worse. I would play Root Walla in that slot, yes, and well, I'm not sure what I would do for the other 4 slots. Maybe D or C. Maybe 3rd Ox of Agonas. Yeah, you can play Arena of Glory too in the mono red build. But Arena of Glory is not as good with, Detectives Phoenix is also just giving stuff haste, like we've been saying. Okay, so they put the Shadow Spirit over on the Tarmogoyf. Am I dead? Doesn't look like it. They're gaining 6, but like this is representing 7. Two cards in their hand. I guess if they can like kill Inti, they're alive. I've been seeing one Bob pump up a Genless online quite a bit is actually good. There's like almost no chance it's optimal. But, I encourage people to play Dark Confidant if they think it'll bring them joy. Bless you, Esther. Pick up a Swamp, 2 cards in their hand. Taps a green. Not scared of green cards here, I guess. Yeah, if bestowing Phoenix triggered Vengevine, it'd be such a big deal. I think we're gonna get them here. That natty Shadow Spear was so good. Did I record my cube runs in Feeder League? No, I could have. I'm sure, maximize content or whatever, but I just do so much over the course of the week that it's tough for me to also like. Also, I don't know. I don't mean to be too dramatic, but sometimes it's just nice to play off stream and not worry about content. And I probably trophied more because of that attitude. So I think we bestow here because it just like this only loses to Unholy Heat instead of going in on the if we like bestow onto the Inti or discard this to Inti, they could kill the Inti in response. Or I guess we could bestow onto Inti, and if they kill Inti, this is still attacking. They could kill Inti in combat, but it's tough. We'd have to push. This has got to be the best line. Why do we still go? Because of Fatal Push. Okay, up a game. think is another just run it back. We've just been like crushing these kind of matchups. I heard Esther say, "What was that noise?" when she walked out of her office. I'm gonna ask her about that. Hey, I heard you say, "What was that noise?" My hospital aquarium was too low in water. There's no fish in there, but just for in case of emergencies. Fish are doing pretty well. You know, Increase not the best against another Goyf. I'm going to go ahead and cast it, though. Stay in the hand. Damn it. Well. Is a hospital aquarium normal practice? I think so. I mean, I've some aquarium YouTubers I listen to have some. But I think it's nice if a fish gets sick, you know, you just have the ability to, like, quarantine it and, like, focus it and make sure it's safe. Also, you know, sometimes fish can fight each other, and so the ability to separate them, I think, is pretty important. Okay, so let's go Flameblade Adept and then Bestow, getting rid of Inti and Street Wraith. Spike, there's no room for the mountain or swamp cycle creatures. I don't know what you're saying, Bald. What card are you talking about? How about spawning? Gonna breed fish? If baby fish happen, they happen. I'll probably end up surrendering them to stores or giving them to stores, and so I don't have to like get too out of control. I think like post wedding, so probably 2 years from now. I want to get like a really like big like 120 gallon tank as a fun project, but gotta save up for the wedding. Both you and a local grando are really into aquariums. Yeah, aquariums are just awesome. Like they're just so good to like focus on instead of anything else. Just a great hobby, nice distractor. Can be very emotional though, with like tank crashes and stuff. Digging the list, I play a similar list. Always hated Rootwalla. I like the addition of the Goyf. Yeah, Goyf has been really kind of mandatory, I think. Do you find it a little hard to play Goyf in Phoenix or not really? Yeah, not really. You just fill up the yard really well. Like sometimes like Phoenix shrinks the Goyf, but also like playing a Goyf and then hasting it and flying it is really good too, and it's just pretty synergistic. Okay, not the worst pick your poison ever. We're gonna be going down to 12. Obviously, I was hoping to buff this Flameblade Adept with the Inquiry. It is what it is. I think I'm going to Inquiry first because I might discard the Ox and want to escape the Ox. Okay, well. Goblin Lore has not been super kind to us this game. Been pretty kind to us overall. We're going to do Planted. Yeah, I'd like to do like a big Planted tank, and I'd like to get like some really crazy fish in there, like the hornhead guy, and there's this one like lobster at the local fish store. That'd be cool. It's like a platinum lobster. It's really a crawfish, but just like a bunch of weird fish. So taking 7 down to 5. They flip something off Ragavan. They flip a Bowmaster off Ragavan. Let's go to game 3. Spike, I'm a longtime EDH kitchen table player. Is Modern as hard to get into as it looks? Modern, like all formats, I think do have a high barrier to entry. Yes, I do think Modern it takes some time to get into, but I also think that process of getting into Modern is so rewarding. Like for me, like my fondest memories of Modern is like building my Beck and Call Elves Intruder Alarm deck and playing against nonstop with my friend who played Life from the Loam, Seismic Assault, and no, my Hollow Ones. Although I do have to have 2 5/6 Goyf for next turn, and Phoenix in the yard. Like some of my fondest memories are getting into Modern. I think it's a really, really special time, and you know, I just kind of, if you're trying to get into it, I encourage you to just enjoy the process of being new. I encourage you to, you know, be very comfortable making a lot of mistakes and like learning from those mistakes and not worrying so much about being a noob. Because being a noob in Modern, for me at least, was a very fun experience. I I mean, we've had some good burning increase today. You know, we're 11-2 overall, 11-3 overall, 11-3. So I definitely don't mind running bad with them sometimes. I hope for Elves. I mean, Elves is probably somewhat okay. There's actually a chance Elves takes Nadu's place once Nadu's banned. Like, we had some good runs with Elves post Image 3. Yeah, you have to be okay with losing. You have to be okay with learning, but the experience, I think, can be just very, very rewarding. Let's Goblin Lore. There's a chance I can get these up to 7 toughness, which would stop Bolt plus Nethergoyf block, and I would like to get this in the yard. I'd like to cast this before they can Bowmaster me. Any advice on first-time deck? So, I said something about first-time decks last time, and I got one person was very upset that I said this, but I still believe that if you're going to get into Modern for the first time, what I recommend is just find a deck that speaks to you and try to like proxy it, play it on Magic Online, watch content on it, and I do not recommend just forcing yourself to play like Prowess or Burn. A lot of people will tell you just play Prowess or Burn. This is the Modern intro deck, and I think that Modern is such a unique and fun, diverse format with lots of like interesting angles, so many cool decks that all of these decks I think just speak to different people. And I really recommend just finding the deck that speaks to you and learning it. And oh sorry, I didn't realize this grew to 4/5. Find that deck that speaks to you, and learn it is my recommendation to you. And be comfortable making mistakes with it. Be comfortable understanding that there is going to be a learning curve when you're picking up your first Modern deck. But just find the deck that looks the coolest and start proxying it. Get a rental service on Magic Online, playing it, and then if Burn or Prowess is or 8-Whack is a deck that really speaks to you, that's great also. But Modern is just too cool and weird, I think, to really be on this, like, you have to play one of these two decks if you're getting into the format. I want to be a Modern noob, and as my first deck, I want you to build Sartorial Nightmare list since you brew with them. Do you have a list you could start from? Yeah, I do. That was actually the first MH3 deck we trophied with. Okay, so let's go... We could go Ox, discard Phoenix, bestow the Phoenix. Hold on, let me... I don't know if they... Let me see if they added this feature. So click on the Brewers tab. Sorry, okay. I need to think about this. I'm doing too much at once. So I can go Inti, discard Phoenix. Okay, can I go... So if I go Ox of Agonas, discard my hand, leave just Hollow One, I can bestow. This is 7/9 in the air. That's just got to be better. So leave just the Hollow One in the yard, so it's the highest mana value to collect evidence. I guess I maybe want to. Maybe I don't want to be just. Maybe I just don't want to be dead to 2 bolts. Oh wait. Nice. So now I could block here. Let me just save the Street Wraith. I don't have like a Goyf that I need to be pumping. I like going on the Ox because like artifact hate doesn't kill the Ox like it does kill the Mox. Doing too much at once. Okay, our first... Yeah, this was our first trophy deck in MH3, Blue-Black Frog Sartorial deck. I do think that this deck has legs, and I would recommend it. Am I doing the draft tonight? Tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. We're doing 2 more drafts. What's the deal with mana traders increasing your loan amount based on length of time with the service? I used to be able to tell you the deal, but they have changed it. Okay, 3 4-1s in a row with this deck.